think each and every participant who has come onto the stage and participated in the entire journey of today's meeting. Let's have our first evaluator today, who is Toastmaster uh, Bhavish. To evaluate first speaker was her student.
No.
Sorry, first
Abhishek. Abhishek.
Okay, Toastmaster Vivek to evaluate Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. So friends, I am back with my evaluation report of the speech delivered by Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Abhishek, he started the speech on a very nice theme, love for people, connecting with people. And he talked about the LinkedIn learning, his experience with the LinkedIn learning, that there were some 5 parameters, and the LinkedIn tutor said that, okay, 5th point you cannot learn. Either you love people or you don't love people. This is something you cannot inculcate. And he started in his life, in his practical life, he started manifesting that point. Okay, how to connect with people, how to love people. And he narrated 4 nice stories. First story about Arjun. Everybody remembers Arjun? Second story about the cook. Third story about the friend who was struggling in her career, and he provided 2 hours advice. And fourth story about his mother traveling and meeting him. And he also narrated that suddenly he started finding time. He could relate that, okay, love means what? How to connect with people? You have to invest your time. You have to invest yourself when you want to connect with people. You have to come with the feeling of giving, that what you want to give. I think he covered all these things in 4 stories very nicely. He also summarized the entire thing. Okay, I am embracing love for people. And he started nicely on that and concluded also very well. With this, he met the purpose of his speech, that writing a speech with a purpose, and he completed the purpose. Thank you for showing me the card. There are some points where he would, I suggest that to take your speech to the next level, probably you need to, I found that somewhere your connection with the audience who are present here, since you are practicing how to connect with people, how to love people, you are talking about that, but somewhere that connection I found missing. Probably if you could have asked some questions or some experience, that would have taken your speech to the next level. Second is, I observed that your stage usage was limited. Third, your eye contact, I found that probably you were more focused on this section of the crowd, of the audience. So maybe when you are transitioning this one point to the other point, maybe the transition phase, you can also move 1 or 2 steps here or here and then connect with another section of the audience. And last but not the least, in 5 to 7 minutes, we are talking about 4 stories. Probably I thought it's too much. Maybe you could have connected with 1 story at a time, and maybe you could have dealt more in detail on that, or maybe 2 stories. But 4, I felt that I had to really focus that, okay, I'm writing down everything, and then because there is an active listener here, I'm preparing for that also. So otherwise, everything went very well, and maybe a little bit more smile would have indicated that you are really moving towards love and towards connecting with the people. With that, I wish you all the best for your next speech. I have filled up the form and I will give it to you after the report. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Toastmaster Abhishek, only thing which I have for you, you used 4 stories, right? I think the only check which you can do in your next speech is the pace. Because once you migrate from one story to the other story, if you don't take a relevant pause, audience will not absorb what you are saying. this I am practicing a lot, and I think you should also try to inculcate, because pauses help people to be with you. It's not like you're rushing into one story to the other. That's the only thing. The rest, you have very nice voice, very good confidence, and sometimes you do this. I think you have the habit of using this hand a lot. When you emphasize, you do this a lot. So that creates bit of disbalance between the overall body language. Otherwise, your voice quality and your confidence, the pace at which you were going was very nicely done. And to Toastmaster Vivek, I think you use the right approach in terms of the CRC approach which we use in Toastmasters. Only thing which I felt was missing was some recommendations for him in terms of once you close out the speech, if you can tell him where he can improve, show some examples while delivering your evaluation where he can improve upon. Also, while ending, if you can end on a very high positive note. That's the feedback for you. I think let's have the next evaluator on stage, Toastmaster Nachiketa, to evaluator Toastmaster Bharti.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Imagine you're walking in a park. The minute Bharti said this, I went just a few hours before when I started my first game of golf. Then I went to my second game of golf. And the lush green garden, the trees, the chirping birds, and the imagery that Bharti created, I actually relived it while sitting right over there. Amazingly done, Bharti. Congratulations on that. You set the context right. You had a very, very good opening where everyone could relate. If not everyone, at least I could, for sure. You had something engaging with the audience. You had an activity with them for about 3-4 minutes, wherein everyone went into their own thoughts and they themselves could relate to what you went through on that particular morning and how to come out of a particular path that you have gone into, a path which you wouldn't want to go into while you're in a morning walk. That exercise you engaged with the audience was again a very commendable thing. In terms of delivery, the particular point of trembling, I didn't see any trembling voice. That was very well done. You spoke very slowly, very calmly. You had an apt pitch and the rate. So pitch, when you were talking, when we were having that activity, your pitch went down and you spoke absolutely like the way it should have been said. Your rate was absolutely fine. If you would have spoken faster, people wouldn't have caught up. So very well done with that. However, to take your speech from here to the next level, I have a couple of recommendations, and I'll divide my recommendations into content and delivery. I'll start with delivery first. First, the eye contact. You were looking everywhere, but you didn't have an eye contact. The purpose of an eye contact is to connect with the audience, which I think was missing. Second, there were some unnecessary steps. So you were moving, but there were very small steps and unnecessary. You had the whole stage. Take longer steps. Go to one end, go to the other end, go to another end, deliver, and then move. Don't move while you're talking. Third, the hands. So you had clasped hands for a long time. Even if you want to clasp your hands, do it in a powerful position. Don't do it in this way. And that's, I think, for many people over here, but just a small recommendation which you could do. So far as content is concerned, your narration. So when you talked about mindfulness, you just said, this is what will happen, this is what will happen, this is what will happen. Make it into a story. That will just give a better impact. Second, on the closing part, when you should give a message or a thought that the audience should go home with. I think that was missing. You just abruptly ended the speech, which I think you could have elaborated upon. However, the best part was the purpose of the speech was to learn and review the basic methods of writing. You had a very good opening. You set up the plot. You had a body which you built upon. The closing is on the recommendations part. If you take those recommendations, I think your speech will be a little better. But congratulations on completing your level 1 project 2 and all the best for your future projects. Over to you, Jeremy.
I think hats off to you for the wonderful evaluation of Toastmaster Bharti. So the only feedback, I think it's not a feedback, I think you have a very nice and very calm voice. When you were doing that exercise of mindfulness, सिर्फ आपको बोलना था बेटा आप सो जाओ. I think everyone would have slept over here. It was so nice, so calm. People were with you when you were doing that exercise. So I think this is your strength. You need to build upon your journey in terms of oratorship on that. I think that's the feedback for you. And to Nachiketa, I think you did a very good evaluation. Hats off to you, the way you evaluated in terms of content, in terms of delivery, also using the overall CRC approach. So I think it was very nicely done. Thank you for that. And it shows us and also allows us to learn how to evaluate our speech as an evaluator. Let's have next evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavish, to evaluate Toastmaster Harsh.
So, Toastmaster Harsh, I find the speech was really good. It started off quite good. One of the things that I really like about your speech, you communicated quite well. There was absolutely no problems in terms of your. One thing that Harsh had mentioned, what he wanted me to evaluate on was his eye contact, and he relentlessly, spoke about how his eye contact would be. I need to evaluate that. I did not find anything wrong with the eye contact in terms of connect. There was something that you could have improved on. I'll talk about later, but the connect was great. You had good engagement. You kept on asking questions to the audience, which the audience was willing to answer. That actually adds value to your speech. The voice, no doubt, was good. Your vocal strength was really good. I mean, till the end of like the audience, you people could listen to you. That actually adds a lot of value to your speech. The speech, I mean, in a way, I could also say that speech had power. That is something that I really found commendable. There are certain areas which I found you could work on, like your hands were closed most of the times, and which I found that it could, so, and not just the hands. While you were presenting it, you were at the edge of the screen, and I found that your movement was very much restricted in terms of your hands and feet. So maybe something that you can probably work on. Now, the eye contact, definitely it did have a connect, but what it did miss was that you were biased towards your left. So the right hand side people maybe would have felt ignored. Reading through the screen could have been better. What I said was a lot of seconds were wasted. Not just wasted. I mean, that's the wrong word to say. But I mean, it could have been better in terms of if you could have summed it up in a few words and had spoken about the crux of what that thing was. There are certain things that you can challenge yourself with. Is again open up yourself physically. Your vocal variety. Now, while I said you had a good strength in your vocals, what you could do is you play around with your tones. Softening a little bit, and then raising your voice when you want to speak something which is commanding, something that you can work on. Storytelling could be a little bit better. Why I'm saying so is, as an audience, I was an evaluator. What I thought was, by the end of your speech, right now, what I'm doing at the moment is evaluating you, but most of what your speech is, I've sort of like forgotten. And that's not a wrong thing, but it could be that I go away with a key takeaway and I could remember that story, what you narrated in my mind, something that you can probably work on. Otherwise, I find the speech was really, really good, and there's something for me to learn from. Okay, thank you so much.
So I think to Toastmaster Harsh, I think you were very nice in terms of your delivery, in terms of your content. So the feedback from my side is, and I think it's something which everyone should really appreciate about him. At times he was nervous, but his comeback was very strong. It didn't sound or he didn't appear to be nervous. Sometimes I think in between he forget his content also, but his comeback was like no one knows over here what his actual content is. So he will speak with confidence. So I think hats off to you. And I really feel you have your chin up with kind of speech you gave on the stage. Let's have our fourth evaluator for today, who is Toastmaster Prince, to evaluate Toastmaster. Sorry, I forgot your name. Sunny. Sorry.
So So thank you Toastmaster Vishal. So at the outset, congratulations for completing your project 2, level 2, that is the persuasive influence pathways. So one of the most wonderful thing that I like that this is a very unique and a wonderful way for conducting a table topic session. Reason being that audience engagement. When everyone was curious, what could the next sound be? So kudos for that you conducted it in a very well manner. Now I have to evaluate on your listening skills or how you deliver the some how did you evaluate the table topic speakers. So first of all, yeah, very right that you did a wonderful job that you provided or delivered the clear summarized synopsis to each and every speaker on the stage. You demonstrated the very good active listening skills. For example, let's say for every tabletop speaker, you delivered a synopsis. Like for Toastmaster Saurabh, that is sea facing view. For Toastmaster Sanchita, who talked about the angels, although Apsaras, and for Toastmaster Ayush spoke on a king and his empire, and for the Toastmaster Mithun, he spoke about different sounds. Just to test your active listening skills, could you please tell me if you recall what all the sounds mentioned by Toastmaster Mithun?
Toastmaster Mithun mainly talked about how we finish our swords, and in ancient time, the oldest tool or the oldest warrior equipment, how they used to shine it up, how to make it perfect for the war. So he was talking about the sword in his speech.
Okay, I think you mentioned multiple sounds, right? Like
Yeah, I
those
think
first.
initially,
So I think you need to. But anyways, I think you show good active listening skills. Now, how could you improvise it? That I think although it is a very unique and wonderful way, but to improvise the process, what you could have done, you could simply chosen or shortlisted simple and easy topics. But I felt that it was challenging task for the guest to identify the sounds and then speak on it. I think it provided the more opportunities or more time to speak on this particular topic, and it provided opportunity to both of us that you could uh, hear that speaker more time or could improvise your listening skills and simultaneously provide more opportunity to me to evaluate only testing your active listening skills. And just last feedback that you could have summarized in a more better manner. What you could have done it was then you could simply tell the name of the sound, like you did for Toastmaster Mithun, that is the kitchen sound that you made. So first just tell that what is the nature of the sound and then give the summarized form of that. So this is all about from my side and thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prince. So I think in terms of TTM, it was really innovative way to conduct the session today. We never had someone using sound as a topic. So the only thing which could be improved in our next meeting would be logistically someone else could have played the music for you, and you could have trusted someone with the password, right? And someone would have played the music for you, so that it becomes that pause over here on stage for 5-10 seconds sometimes make people nervous. So if you can directly move into the session itself, it helps people to calm and move faster. Otherwise, everyone is staring at you and you're just standing over here like this. Sometimes it can make people nervous. That's the only thing. And I think your evaluation was with respect to your listening skills. So while you were evaluating all the speakers, if you would have also, I don't know whether it was part of the scope or not, if you would have also given some feedback to the to the table topic players who were there on stage, because you were only summarizing what they spoke about, and it didn't have any feedback for them. A brief feedback for them would have been added much more value to your speech as well as your evaluation and the TTM itself. So, and to Prince, I think you rightly evaluated him and you asked him a question. That was nice because that helped us to understand the scope was active listening and while he was there or not. So that helped us to understand that. And your only thing to you is, if while evaluating, if you can look at the audience and not specific to the person itself, so that every one of us can learn, because tomorrow I might also play the same role and someone else also might play the same role. With this, now it's time for our active listener. This is something which I'm looking forward today. Who is Toastmaster? Aman. Aman. Let's have him on stage, please.
forward to his goodies or what he has done.
Let's see what he has for us today.
So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all actively listened this session. So I have around 10 questions. So how much time do I have for this? 3 to 5 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3
Okay.
minutes.
So let's start with the first question. The level is medium. During the introduction of guests, in one word, what was Aditi's biggest strength? Aditi's biggest strength.
Aditya.
Courage.
Correct answer. What are we getting?
Huge round of
Again, second question, medium level. What was the fifth pillar Toastmaster Abhishek talked about in his speech?
Love and
Okay. It should be an easy level. So, question 3. Which of the following is false in the Toastmaster Mohit's story? Option A, waking up late. Option B, missing the breakfast. Option C, roads got clogged due to heavy rain. Option D, there was a truck in the middle of the road.
C.
Okay. Correct answer. Yeah, see, the roads got blocked due to heavy rain. That's the incorrect one. So the fourth question, it's a hard one. What did Toastmaster? What have I written?
That is impossible to answer.
We don't know the answer to that.
So what did Toastmaster Bharti hear in the morning walk when she practiced mindfulness?
Yeah.
What did Toastmaster Bharti hear in her morning walk?
birds.
No.
The
Before
air
that.
breeze.
Correct
Bells.
answer. Can you have a round of applause for him? The bells or the So next is an easy question. Question number 5. What was the trade-off that Toastmaster Harsh talked about in his speech? The hint is
Ease and growth.
correct answer.
Easy question.
Yeah.
It's
चलो,
the first
एक
time
hard
it's a
पूछते हैं।
pilot project for him.
एक hard question पूछते हैं. Question number 6. What movie did Toastmaster Saurabh refer to in his table topic speech?
Bas.
Correct answer.
You can't say that we have to.
Okay, so
All our active listeners.
yeah,
Please mention who was the question related to, not them not answer.
yeah. Chill. Okay, so question number 7. In table topic speech 3, what did Toastmaster Sanchita say at first when she heard the sound? Fill in the blank. She imagined herself sitting in a dash.
Airplane.
Airplane. Correct answer. So next is an easy question on medium level. Which detective did Ayush imagine himself to be at first when he heard the sound?
Sherlock Holmes.
So, okay, this is a hard level, I guess. The last question for the day. Question number 9. How many rounds were there in the sword making competition as described by Toastmaster? What was the name?
Mithun.
Mithun, yeah. I can't read what I've written. My bad. So, how many rounds were there? 4. Correct answer. So that's it from my side. You all are very good active listeners.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raman, for conducting this active listener part. I think it was wonderfully conducted. I'm looking forward to many more because I think a lot of innovation can happen in active listening part, and it is really good to have this as part of our meetings itself. So the only thing which I have is, if someone knows the answer, I think it is better to raise hand so that we can know who all are active listeners and who all are not. If possible, if the same can be conducted in this manner. So moving forward, let's have our first expert in terms of analyzing speech. Let's have Toastmaster R.K. Arora to tell us where we went wrong in terms of grammar, what all things we can improve upon.
It was not a piece of cake for me to note down all those which you are saying, that to find out some issues of English or maybe language. So I have noted down many of the good things throughout this session. We have used multiple good uses like this morning. chew on the grass. Impulsive, good usage of words, you know, and walking with quick steps, and lingering taste of your mouth, pressure weighing down on my shoulder, laughter movement, containment, conscious choice, brighter side, vibrant side, imaginary world, and some of more good words were Mr. Abhishek, essential, street, astonished, compassionate, escalated, bogged down, paradigm. So these were the good words which I have noted down. So I have noted down some of the words where we can improve also. Like someone said that at outset, it should be at the outset. Someone said cool breeze touching me. So it can be said as cool breeze touching my face. And someone has used that I could not go behind the traffic. It could have been like I could not go get behind the traffic. So these are some of the good words which I have noted down, and there were some more good words which I am able to see now in my diary. Game of Thrones, biased, visualize, imaginary world, and the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Bharti, Toastmaster Mohit, Toastmaster Sunny, and Toastmaster Vishal also, I believe. And idiom of the day was the keep your chin up was used by Toastmaster Aman, Toastmaster Mohit, and Toastmaster Vishal, I believe. And this is all report from my side. And one of the best quote which was there from Toastmaster Mohit was, "Life does not happen to you; it happens for you." Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Argavoda. So I think in terms of grammar and in terms of versatility, we need to look at Toastmaster Ruchira, the way she, in a small role, playing at the role of Sa, she said she took the role at the drop of a hat. I don't know how many of you, us, use that exact words, and she did not create the bone out of it. These are the two phrases which I learned from Toastmaster Ruchira today, and I'm sure she's a good teacher. The way she,
Yeah,
the way she tells, and the way she explains, I'm sure she's a good maths teacher.
So for my next paper, I'm coming to Aman. He's going to make another paper, if you don't mind.
Sure, sure. Um, let's have a third expert. Second expert who is Toastmaster. Toastmaster Vanchul.
So, like I mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, that I'm going to be a sound detective. I have done my investigation, and we have the usual suspects. The words are
Nice.
and so were the ones which were used profoundly in the meeting. And a thing that I noticed was that these words were getting used when speakers were transitioning from, say, scope A to a scope B in their prepared speeches. A word of advice to them: silence is not a bad thing. Generally, we use the filler words are and so when we want to, when we feel that silence is our enemy. But silence makes an impact. It helps us communicate the message that we have. It helps the speakers absorb the message that we are trying to communicate. Majority of the speakers today used are and so. Fortunately, they were used less than 5 times. We only had a few speakers who used are and so more than 5 times. That's Toastmaster Abhishek, Toastmaster Vishal, and Toastmaster Bhavish. That's it from my end.
over to Toastmaster. So, is there any perfect speaker for the day? Thankfully, no one. So,
Awfully no one. Awfully no one.
yeah, because I was not the one. I used R a lot. Any which ways, let's have a third expert on stage who is Toastmaster Paras to evaluate our body language.
Good usage of pause. Good usage of pause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for clearing that out. It really makes me comfortable. Importance of body language cannot be overstated. So much so that when the prepared speech evaluators were giving their evaluation, I was afraid that they are going to step up on most of the points that I have mentioned here. Anyhow, luckily, I have a few points which were not mentioned by the evaluators. Starting off with Toastmaster Vivek, one thing I really liked about your usage of body language was when the guests were speaking and you were listening very diligently and very keenly. So that was really amazing, and because I've seen that people most of the time miss out on that. So kudos to you on that. Another thing about Toastmaster Vivek in his body language, which has always been his strong suits, is how openly he uses his body language, open gestures, open arms. That is also one of the great strengths of yours. One thing that I would recommend you to work upon is yeah, I mean, sometimes it tends to be monotonous. Your tone tends to be monotonous, so maybe you can work upon that to keep the audience more engaged in your speech. That would work wonders for you, I believe. Coming to Toastmaster Mohit, who was the Toastmaster of the day for today. You had a very good usage of hand gestures and you were very comfortable on the stage. However, sometimes the stage movement was also very nice. You used the stage nicely. You were standing upright over there, getting more intimate with the audience. However, the stage movement could have been used more to your advantage if it was balanced with some uh, some uh, some standing without movement. That would accentuate the movement, the importance of the movements, and when you're standing. One other thing that I have noticed that you do sometimes is that when you come onto the stage for the first time, you tend to focus on the people who are entering or exiting, and you tend to give them a brief pause so that they can enter and sit. That takes away the attention from you and towards the people that are coming, which I believe is not required. You might just start because the stage is now yours and the audience has all their eyes on you. So that is something that you can work upon. Uh, Toastmaster Vishal, you have a very nice bright smile and you have grown very confident on stage. And some of the things that I noticed about you, which were a little peculiar, were one is leaning on one side, which is very common amongst all of us. Other than that, one thing that I've noticed is sometimes we all can tend to laugh while we are speaking something funny. So what that does is it takes away all the humor from what we are speaking, and we are also not very clear in what we are speaking. So for that, I would suggest that you just speak out whatever you are speaking, control that laughter that you want to deliver or you want to express, and just at the end of what you are speaking, you laugh. So that creates a more polished impact, right? Another thing I noticed was that you tend to rub your hands like this a little. Have you noticed that? Yeah, so that creates a sense of like things are a little casual. So maybe you can work on that. Uh, Toastmaster Abhishek, uh, you had good hand gestures, and other than that, some things that I noticed were that you tend to raise your eyebrows while speaking, maybe to hide your nervousness or something. So maybe that's something you can work upon. And in terms of your eye contact, it was good,
but sometimes while you were transitioning from one idea to another, you tended to look down. So instead of looking down, you can maintain the eye contact while having silence, right? While transitioning. Uh, Toastmaster Bharti, you had a very good eye contact, you had a nice smile, you have grown really confident on the stage. One thing that I noticed was that you had a very closed body language. In the sense that your hands were also closed and your legs were also very close. I mean, it sent a feeling that you were feeling a little nervous. So that is something that you can work upon. Uh, Toastmaster Harsh, I wanted to ask you this, whether it was intentional or was it just random. When you said that you came out of the office, you walked 2 steps. So was that intentional or what?
That was on spot.
That was
On spot.
so intentional, right? Or
It was
this
not intentional.
Okay.
Impulse.
Okay. I thought that was intentional and that created a great impact. So anyhow, 2 points that I have for you are as your evaluator had already mentioned, you had a not so good neutral position, or your hands were clenched, so that is something that you can work upon. And another thing is that you were standing on one side of the stage because you wanted people to see the screen. So yeah, I'll just. I mean, I tried to keep it short, but I don't know how. Somehow this body language.
But you're doing a good job. You continue.
Always ends up being long. Thank you. So what you can do is divide the speech into half. Like half of the speech you're trying to give from here, and half you give from here. If you want people to see the screen. Toastmaster Sunny, also you also had a little closed up body language, so you can work upon that. Toastmaster Saurabh, you have a slight habit that I noticed was tapping your hands on your legs like that. So that's something that you can consciously work on. And one thing that I noticed only today was that you were talking only to some specific people sitting in the front. So that makes the audience feels neglected. So that is something you can work upon. Toastmaster Nachiketa, just one thing for you. You were very confident, very good body language, but at the end when you were congratulating her for her project, you were as serious as you were while you were giving recommendations.
I was shooting time.
Okay. So maybe that is something I can work on. Thank you all. I've taken
Thank you, Toastmaster, for such a wonderful report, such a detailed report. Hats off to you to have feedback for majority of the speakers who came on stage, because at times we give only feedback to the main speakers or the prepared speakers and not to others. So in terms of body language, I think the person whom we can look forward to is Vivek ji. The way he conducts himself on the stage, the way he has that open. I'm till date I'm not able to do this. I don't know why. When will I learn this? Today I'm doing this. Today I can be comfortable around this. Till date I'm not able to do this. I think he is the one person who we can look forward to and be comfortable around how to move on stage, at how to interact with people and keep that straight and calm body language. And one specific feedback which I have for Toastmaster Bharti is when you were speaking, your voice is very calm, and it brings a lot of calmness and a lot of people come together to listen to you. In terms of vocal, you are there, but in terms of body language, I think you're not feeling the words. The body is not with you. For example, when you were saying you were strolling, right? Your voice was like that you were actually strolling, but not your body. You were not actually strolling in a casual manner, like people can see you strolling on the stage. So that's the feedback. I think body language is the aspect where you can work upon. And to Toastmaster Mohit, only feedback which I think you are very calm person on stage. You take the stage as your own. The one feedback small feedback which I have for you is sometimes your hand movement could be a bit casual, like "Chalta hai na yaar." Sometimes it gives a message that the role is being played in a very casual manner. Probably it could be, and then the body does not have that straight energy or that stiffness which as a TMOD people might expect you to have from, or as a good speaker might expect you from. That's the only feedback in terms of body language. The rest, everything, I think you know how to conduct yourself on stage. Let's have timer on stage. to tell us whether we were on time. Toastmaster Praveen. I'm still doing this.
Thank you everyone. Velvet as a timer. So as per report, everyone has given the speech in a time. So except some cases. So Mr. Abhishek, TM Abhishek has taken the 7 minute 35 second, and Saurabh Dev has taken the 2 minutes 5 second. Sanchita has taken 2 minutes 1 second. TM Vivek has taken 3 minutes 58 second as a velvetor, and Nachiketa has taken 3 minutes 28 second. Avesh taken 3 minutes 6 second. Rest are within the time. Thank you.
Just to tell you, in terms of grace, we have 30 seconds grace for on the outer side. For example, if a speaker has to speak for 5 to 7 minutes, then they can take 30 seconds extra. Same with table topics, 1 to 2 minutes, they can take 30 seconds extra. And for evaluation also 2 to 3 minutes, they can take 30 seconds extra. So all of us were on time.
Yeah. I know. Paras was it?
Paras was it. So the only feedback for you is you have to time not only the speakers or evaluators, you have to time TMOD also, you have to time GE also, you have to time all speakers who are there on the stage as per the agenda. So if someone moves outside the time, you have to show the cards accordingly. In the agenda, you will see mean, max, and time for each and every speaker who's allotted a time. So if you can show cards accordingly to each and every person, that's the only feedback I think.
That's a sword on your leg.
Huh?
Sword on your leg.
So with this, I think we have evaluated. I think we have come to an end of the evaluation. I think let's have a big round of applause for all those people, especially people who put that extra effort to give feedback for us. I think hats off to each and every evaluator today because you were on the dot in terms of evaluations for each and every one of us. So in terms of my evaluation of the overall meeting, I think we started more or less on time. A bit delay happened, and hats off to people like Toastmaster Vivek and Toastmaster Ruchira to take the role at the fall of the hat. Drop of the hat. Sorry. And so let's have a big round of applause for both of them to pick the role at the last moment. It was nice to see that people were entering or exiting the venue during the applause. So let's continue with the same and don't miss out on this habit because it really disturbs the speaker. While it could be TMOD, it could be GE, or it could be table topic master also. And last, I have few feedbacks which I have written out. You can just hold on for 1 minute. So a few feedbacks for people who came on stage while giving TTM, while participating in TTM. One was for Saurav. I think you are always in the storytelling mode. People tell you you will stand up and start telling some story. Hats off to you for that. Swati, I think you are third time speaker over here. Third time you are coming as a guest.
As a guest, but speaking for the first time.
First time. Thank you for taking that courage and being so cheerful on the stage for the third time. Same with Ayush also. You came here for the third time, right? And you came here on the stage for the first time? Second time. So I think we should not have been so nice to him. He's coming here for the second time as a guest third time. So Mithun, I think you used the stage really well when you were telling about those music stories, music tones which you were able to get. The way you moved on stage tells us how to move from one space to the other while moving from one scope of the speech to the other. That was very nice. To Sanchita, I think when you mentioned about Apsara, all boys were thinking about which cloud is this, where we can also visit. And that's it from my side. Thank you for coming today. And let me hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Vivek, to take the meeting forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Thank you. Welcome back. Is my audio video clear? Okay. This was the COVID time. this became like a default statement, audio video clear. So I thought of, let us see whether people are still alert or not.
You are on mute.
Thank you. Fine. So we will now have the voting is done. Can we distribute the forms? So on everybody's mobile, those who are part of the guest group, you will see there is a Google form to vote for the best speaker. How many sections? First speaker, right? Yeah. So there are 4 speakers today. 3 speakers. You are not speaker?
No.
But it
I
is
will
your
not be a
project.
speaker, I will be a role player.
Okay. So there are 3 speakers. Toastmaster Abhishek, can you please raise your hand?
Put it on the active member group as well.
Yeah. Toastmaster Abhishek is first speaker. Second speaker is Toastmaster Bharti. Can you please raise your hand for the benefit of guests? And Toastmaster Harsh, he is the third speaker. So there are 3 speakers on the voting list. So please vote for the best speaker. Then there are 3 evaluators, speech evaluators. Toastmaster Vivek, myself, Toastmaster Nachiketa, and Toastmaster Bhavish. And Toastmaster Prince also in the speech evaluator list. Okay, then we have 3 major role players. Number 1, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit. Number 2, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Vishal. Number 3, Toastmaster Sunny, who has played the role of table topic master. Then we have 5 auxiliary role players. So first is A counter, Toastmaster Vanshul. Second is Toastmaster R.K. Arora, who has played the role of grammarian. Third is body language evaluator, Toastmaster Paras. Fourth is active listener, which we had for the first time here in GTMC, Toastmaster Aman, very well played. Then we have timer, Toastmaster Parveen. Any more? All are there. So these are the people on the voting list